We remain determined that Iran must never acquire a nuclear weapon. While we have been left with no choice but to take this course of action, we remain committed to diplomacy and to the peaceful resolution of threats to global peace and security. There remains a clear diplomatic pathway forward, should Iran choose to take it. Thank you.
Ambassador, what's the intention of the meeting this morning? The Russians took questions. Just
Everybody took
out.
questions. Why didn't you take questions?
Yesterday, in accordance with UN Security Council Resolution 2231, the foreign ministers of France, Germany, and my own country, the United Kingdom, notified the Security Council that we believe Iran to be in significant non-performance of its commitments under the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. Since 2019, Iran has increasingly and deliberately ceased performing almost all of its JCPOA commitments. This includes the accumulation of high-enriched uranium stockpile, which lacks any credible civilian justification. In fact, according to the IAEA, Iran is the only country without nuclear weapons producing high-enriched uranium. Iran has stopped providing IAEA access agreed under the JCPOA. Moreover, it has recently significantly reduced the access to nuclear material and sites it is obliged to provide under the NPT. Despite this, France, Germany, and the United Kingdom are making every effort to resolve this diplomatically. Most recently, we offered Iran an extension to snapback should Iran take specific steps to address our most immediate concerns. Our asks were fair and realistic. Iran's resumption of negotiations on a comprehensive agreement, Iran's compliance with its IAEA obligations, and steps to address our concerns regarding the high-enriched uranium stockpile. However, as of today, Iran has shown no indication that it is serious about meeting them. It is not implementing its obligations to cooperate with the International Atomic Energy Agency. It has not re-engaged in negotiations with the United States with a view to reaching an acceptable diplomatic resolution. Our notification to the Security Council has now triggered a 30-day period. It does not mark the end of diplomacy. Our extension offer remains on the table. We hope Iran will take the necessary steps to address the international community's serious concerns over its nuclear program. We urge Iran to reconsider this position, to reach an agreement based on our offer, and to help create the space for a diplomatic solution to this issue for the long term. Otherwise, targeted UN sanctions focused on tackling Iranian nuclear proliferation return at the end of this 30-day period. We remain determined that Iran must never acquire a nuclear weapon. While we have been left with no choice but to take this course of action, we remain committed to diplomacy and to the peaceful resolution of threats to global peace and security. There remains a clear diplomatic pathway forward, should Iran choose to take it. Thank you.
Ambassador, what's the intention of the meeting this morning? The Russians took questions. Just
Everybody took
out.
questions. Why didn't you take questions?
Ambassador, if you really believe that these countries who started this snapback process are just interested in making, problems? And so what hope do you hold for your resolution, draft resolution, to pass in the Security Council? And do you really believe that in 6 months, all these problems with Iran and their violations of the JCPOA will be solved?
We believe in common sense. We believe in diplomacy. We believe in the fact that many countries understand what can follow if this situation is going to the spiral of violence and further breach of international law. I also need to remind you about the context where this whole is happening. The IAEA repeatedly failed to notice any threats for in terms of nuclear proliferation from Iranian nuclear program. So regardless of what...
Well, they confirmed the violations of Iran.
This is interpretation. This is interpretation. And we all know that the measures that were taken by Iran in terms of uranium enrichment, they were taken in response to the US withdrawal from JCPOA, and these measures can easily be reviewed. So Iran was always open to diplomatic solution of this issue. United States abandoned JCPOA, and since then the situation started to deteriorate. So we should not confuse the real source of the problem that happened in 2018. Also, we shouldn't forget about the context of absolutely unlawful strikes that were conducted against the Islamic Republic of Iran in June by Israel and then by the United States, including against the objects that are placed under the JCPOA safeguards. So this was, and this still is, a serious breach of international law, and we cannot ignore this context. So these countries that want to follow further on the path of escalation, they continue breaching international law. Maybe they still believe in the so-called rules-based international order, but in their action they show that this international order has nothing to do with international law. This is very obvious. So we believe in common sense, we believe in peace, we believe in diplomacy, and the option that Russia and China is now providing for the whole world should lead us to this aim without further problems.